Oh, what's up, peoples? I did that on purpose. What's up, peoples? I mean, get rid of that music. Who we got up in here? I see a few y'all popping on in. What I'm trying to do over here to my left is start our IG our IG live. Who we got here? Where are you from? I'm excited about tonight. I Ooh, no, that looks bad, but we're gonna have to rock with it. It'll be better. It'll be better later. Who we got here? Where are you from? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Tell me something good. Ow, ow. Where y'all from? Where y'all from? Where are you tuning in from? All right, so I'm gonna try this. Let me see. At followers. I just learned this past Thursday night from a lady, and I'm gonna see if this works. Highlight. Wilson. Man, tell the people where you from. Tell the people where you from. So up IG, I see y'all coming up in tonight. I'm talking about the real reason Simone Biles won the Olympic gold medal. That's what we're talking about tonight. Sorry, IG, to that little blurry side. The real reason Simone Biles won the Olympic gold medal. Y'all just don't want to talk to nobody. Okay, all right, I see you. I see you. That's fine. Well, for those of us who are here, for those of y'all who are here, let's go and get this thing popping. Um, I think more than anything, I enjoy sharing real life instances, stories, matters relating to mental health and mental wellness. Mental wellness is I want to start transitioning our language there. Mental wellness. Some people say mental illness, some people say mental health. And I understand, I agree with both of those. I get it. But I want us to start at least conditioning our minds to be in a state of wellness, that it is mental wellness. So I really get excited when I'm starting to see um, thriving in the workplace, whether it's on YouTube or businessman or whatever. And I think tonight, Simone Biles is a picture of what it means and what it looks like to thrive. We all know that she won the Olympic gold medal. I don't know if y'all saw my post and the picture that was in the post, but she had a rough go at it. She had a rough go at it. The picture to the left, y'all can't see it, IG, but the picture to the left. All right, Dr. Harvey, good to see you, sir. I appreciate your son there in Rochester, New York. The picture to the left was in 2020 when she withdrew herself from the Olympics. The picture to the right was just a few days ago. Take a look at this. Look at how despondent and distraught that she was, trying to get inspiration from somewhere, hoping that somebody can say something to help her make sense of what she knows as being her truth. That was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. That was 4 years ago. And this is a picture of her just a few days ago holding on. And that is a thrive smile, if I have to say. If I have to say so myself, that is a thriving smile. That woman won the Olympic gold medal after just 4 years earlier withdrawing herself from the entire competition. That's what thriving looks like. And she did it because of where she was and where she felt, that being in her mental state. Now, how are my notes going to just leave? Okay, so I got to do it this way. I'm going to have to bounce back and forth. So give me a second. That music is getting on my nerves. I'm one of them kind of preachers that, when he preaches, if it ain't the Bible or people witnessing, don't tinkle behind me. All right. So again, we're talking about the real reason why Simone won the Olympic gold medal. I want to ask you all before we get good and heavy in this thing, would y'all please go and follow me on all of these platforms? Follow me on these platforms. This is my IG, my YouTube, and then my Facebook account is also about to be posted as well. Okay, there you have it. Whoop, I know what I did. Okay, here it comes. Hey, can y'all see my overlay? Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. All right, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it a little bit on tonight. Everyone remembers the news headings that said Simone Biles withdraws herself, and all kind of rumors started floating around. One, there was someone was speculating that Simone was concerned about risking an injury. She was concerned about risking an injury. Hard to say that fast. Another rumor was team considerations that Biles. She was worried that her performance might negatively impact the team's chances for for a medal. So some people were saying that she was trying to be selfless, and some people were saying she was trying to be selfish. Now, how many of us have ever been in the middle of trying to find a win-win proposition where you owe it to yourself, but then you also know you have a responsibility to others? In this case, her responsibility wasn't to the country that she was representing, but rather the team that she was competing on. So you've got some people saying that she was concerned about risking a physical injury because of what her mental state was. And I really appreciate that Simone has been very forthcoming, letting the world know about what her mental state is and where she is. I don't know how much the world knows, but just under that broad category of mental health. Here's another reason why people are saying that she withdrew herself. It was the pressure and expectations, the immense pressure of being the star athlete and the expectations placed on her contributed to her decision. Um, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Based on where we are in our particular disciplines, whatever it is that we do, whatever our profession is, and then the level that we do it at determines more responsibility for what happens. So let me see if I can give you an example. If you take a megachurch pastor, and let's just say he's bishop such and such, or he's pastor or doctor or whatever it is, you pick your favorite. You put one up there. What happens if at the last minute, right before church starts, he gets sick? He can't make it. He's stuck in an accident or in traffic. He has an accident. What happens? What is the trickle down effect of that? It's a lot because he is that guy. Everything rides and falls on him. Yes, you got people that are trained that can step in, but at large, come on, let's face it now. Churches, ministries, they are personality driven, even more so in the African American community. But if the parking lot attendant, and I'm not demeaning the parking lot attendant, praise God for every parking lot attendant that's out there. But if he calls in or bumps his foot or at the last minute changes or something comes up, it doesn't affect the entire operation of what happens on that particular Sunday. Take the vest off, give it to somebody else, give them a quick orientation as to what needs to be done. Well, when we are looking at someone such as a Simone Biles, the responsibility that she had is carried on her shoulders. If we look at the parking lot attendant, um, he has a responsibility. He's told his supervisor or leader or team leader, whatever they might be called, that I'll be here on today and I got lot such and such, such and such, aisle such and such. If you look at it on a pastor, and he's not there, he just knows that somebody else can cover. But if you look at it on a pastor side, and for whatever reason he's not there, can you imagine the weight and the responsibility that would be on his shoulders because of his absence? Now, take that example and translate it, transfer it over Simone Biles in 2020. They're in China, and she's not feeling solid up here. Was she concerned about risking an injury? Possibly. Was she concerned about letting her team down? Oh my gosh. What does she do? The pressure and the expectations are beyond 34 million people. 34 million people were watching the Olympics this year. I think I saw the number of 121 million all the way up to half a billion people, just depending on what metric it is that you use, watched in 2020. I think it was 34 million that watched the opening ceremonies, which were trash, by the way, which was trash, by the way. And so here's this young lady coming into 2024, just 4 years earlier, having experienced possibly, possibly one of the most heartbreaking, roughest, toughest decisions that she's ever had to make. Now, the reason why she withdrew is I'm going to just read this. There are these things called twisties that gymnasts, athletes deal with. It says Biles experienced the twisties, a dangerous condition where gymnasts lose their spatial awareness, where they lose their spatial awareness. Twisties come midair, making it difficult and unsafe to perform complex maneuvers. This is important. This condition can be triggered by stress and mental pressure. And Biles felt that her mind and body were not in sync. This anecdote, this title, this category of twisties, it comes based on what I just read. It can be triggered by stress and mental pressure. It is so triggered by stress until it takes, as a gymnast, their spatial awareness away as they're mid-air, which explains why it would have been a legitimate reason for her to have not been in the game for her own personal decision, because she could hurt herself. And if she hurt herself, then that would continue to trickle down to other people. I promise you, I am going somewhere. I'm not just restating the facts. I'm going to tell you what it is, who is the most important, who is responsible for her. We're going to talk about this therapist, for her winning the gold medal. But now, being aware of the twisties in the moment, all eyes on her. She's feeling this pressure. She knows that twisties can affect what it is that she's doing. What do you do? What do you do when the pressure is so overwhelming on you until you have to make a hard decision and you don't necessarily have the wherewithal, the resources, the people, the support system to make that decision? Mind you, not a decision that's being made at the level of competition that Simone is on, all of these millions of people watching you, the backing of these United States of America. What do you do? Let's put Simone on the side. The one thing that we both, can y'all hear my dog? Excuse me. Can you please take that from him? I don't know if y'all heard that. This little squeaky thing. He decides to play with it. All right. So what do you do? And this is where um this is where I'm passionate. This is one phrase, and this was in Inc.com. It says, it took Simone Biles just one sentence to teach a brilliant lesson in leadership and win Olympic gold again. So we understood what happened. We understand what happens back in 2020. But now we're in 2024. Just a few days later, Inc.com says it took Simone Biles one sentence to teach a brilliant lesson in leadership and win. Quote, Simone said, I'm still in therapy, working on all that stuff to just make sure my mental health is well. She says, I am still in therapy. Watch, after she got past the moment in 2020, in the 2020 Olympics, that she withdrew herself, which I think was the absolute best decision. Listen and never forget this. You can't be good to anybody else until you're first good to yourself. You cannot be good to anybody else. You are of inconsequential difference when you're not good to yourself first. I am happy that the sister withdrew herself last year. My interest was maybe much like you all's. What in the world's going on? Why would she do that? And as I began to listen, this was last year, to what was going on, it was, she has a mental health. I said, I got it. That's awesome that she did that. She says this one sentence in 2024 Olympics, just a couple of days ago. I'm still in therapy. And I really don't have to unpack that anymore. Simone says, I am still in therapy, working on all that stuff to just make sure my mental health is well. Watch this. Even though stuff up here wasn't going and clicking the way it needed to be back in 2020, Simone is aware of herself. She is understanding enough of herself, and she is prioritizing her mental health enough to the point to where she doesn't just get ready for a competition, but she keeps working on, quote, all of that stuff just to make sure my mental health is well. You want to know how to thrive? You want to know how to move from surviving to thriving? You keep working on all of that stuff. Thank you, baby. I'm blurry. I didn't, this whole screen thing needs to be realigned. Yeah. So IG, I'll come back next week. Maybe it's not why y'all are, maybe not as many as were there last time because I'm blurry. I got it. I'll fix it. What was I saying? Fixing the stuff. All right, so I'm gonna bare my soul here just a little bit. If you're just tuning in, we're talking about the real reason why Simone Biles won the gold medal just a couple of days ago. I'm gonna bear something that I've not talked about, that has been now a recent understanding. So 25 years dealing with mental health stuff, underdiagnosed. Year's 2020. I'm an in therapy patient, inpatient therapy. The diagnosis of bipolar 2 is made. I start working through all that stuff, all that stuff, all that stuff. I declared earlier this year, I'm done surviving, I'm thriving. My headspace was in a different space. Simone says, I dealt with all that stuff. Um, You cannot ignore. I wish I had two sets of eyes and I talked to both audiences. You cannot ignore I guess that's worth celebrating. You cannot ignore stuff. I was talking to a pretty wealthy businessman not too long ago, and he had some complaints and so forth that was going on that money couldn't fix. And I was talking, well, man, how do you deal with the stress? I mean, he got a lot of stress, a lot of stuff that he's doing that causes a lot of stress, got a good team. So, man, how you do it? He says, when I get home, I just want to be left alone. I go down to my man cave and I watch such and such. I'm gonna tell you what to watch because let's just say it's different what he watches, but it's what does it for him. It's what makes him relax. Then he says, I just got to escape from all of what's going on. I understand escaping. Everybody needs a break. I was up sitting outside on my deck last night till about 1:15 in the morning, just chilling. I had a little show on. It was great. Computer wasn't there, wasn't working on anything. We all need some time to recharge. But when escapism becomes your drug, that's a problem. And the only way you stay drug free is by doing what Simone Biles said: stay in therapy and keep working on the stuff. All right, so now back to me. I've been working on my stuff for years prior, but after treatment, working on my stuff, meeting with therapists and all this. I'm doing everything. Sometimes 2 or 3 meetings per week, and I'm working on all that. Everything abated. I finally felt like I had a handle and a grip on life. And then I start noticing it is really hard to pay attention. I'll start a thought, I'll forget what I'm saying. If I'm writing stuff down, I have this flood of thoughts and reasoning, and I'm telling my wife such and such, and then I pick up on a conversation she has no idea. She does that too now. Let me just say this. My wife will say, "So yeah, I was meaning when I was the other day when I was over there." I'm like, "What in the world are you talking about?" I don't know if she caught a case of mine or what, but I'll do conversations like that. In my head, everybody is caught up. Whom I'm speaking to, they're caught up. But my mind just kind of bumps around. It's like chasing the squirrel, the SOS, shiny object syndrome. Well, in me dealing with that, I'd forgotten one of the diagnoses, and that was attention deficit disorder. Let's not talk about is it ADD or ADHD. Let's not talk about it. I have been used to my whole life processing multiple things at one time. Um, no reason to explain it in depth. When I was in college, though, I finished college, and this isn't a flex, but I went through college in less than 3 years. Even though at the end of my freshman year, I didn't have enough credits to be a sophomore. So I made up my mind I was going to get it done. And I went to University of Georgia undergrad, and I made up my mind I was still going to graduate. But when I found out I had the opportunity to graduate in less than 4 years, I said, I'm going to do it. So I would take classes. I had a full load. I was carrying 17, 18 hours. Max load, I mean, a full load was considered to be 12. I'm at 17, 18 sometimes throughout the course of the day. And then on the weekends, I'd set my class schedule so that when I got out of my class, my morning class, I hop in the car, it was already packed. I drive to Atlanta. I stay in class all afternoon and then even all day on Saturday. And I would come back on Sunday and do it again. So I was processing just a whole bunch, all those kind of classes, different stuff. I've always been known to do that. I'll read multiple books at one time. I'll have something on this screen, something going on over here, something going on. So that 80, I can look back and I can see it. But ADD, like other mental health issues, they arise back when there is stress. And so now I got to deal with that stuff. We meet with our therapist on this upcoming Thursday. You can bet that's going to be at the top of my list. What else can I do to deal with this thing, with this stuff, because mental illness, it comes from someplace. It comes from someplace. I've been saying this as long as I can remember, as I've become, take on this role as being a mental health advocate. But stress is always the underlying fact that's there. Always, always. Stress is always the underlying factor that is there. So the more stress you have, the more likely you are for there to be a matter that comes up that you didn't even realize was there. So who's the real champ? Let's wrap this up. Y'all got questions? Drop them in the chat, and I'll do what I can. Hey, what's up, Tim? Good to see you. Um, who's the real champ here? Simone says that she talked to her therapist the same morning that she won the gold medal a few days ago. She has prioritized and made therapy, watch this now, a part of her routine. I'm going to tie everything up here in just a minute. It is a part of her routine. Her therapy is a part of her routine. I'm going to ask you a simple question, but who do you talk to? Who do you talk to? Do you merely keep it all on the inside? Do you talk to yourself? Some self-talk is good, but others is not so good. Who do you talk to? If any of what I'm saying is resonating to you and you've said, one time, Arsenio Hall says, things that make you go, if that has been your response, your reply, specifically relating to you or to a loved one, you need to give what I'm saying more credence. You really do. That's part of what I'm doing. I'm a Thrive coach. You can DM me. That stuff is already there. I think it's pinned in the top of the chat. It should be. You should DM me. Let's talk. That's why talk therapy is becoming so big. As a pastor, though, I understand some things that other pastors go through that your therapist, unless they're a pastor, wouldn't. As a Black man, I understand some things from my point of view that a white therapist could never experience because they've never lived their life through the skin of being a Black man or through the eyes of a Black man. Let's talk. This is what I'm called to do. This is the assignment that God has given me in the season that I'm in. You gotta keep dealing with your stuff. And with as much as I have gone through, my wife and I have gone through, you've got to keep dealing with it. And you know what? Some of us stop at good when there could be great. Some of us just want to release the pain enough, and a negative 20 pain feels so much better than a negative 80 until we settle for a negative 20, but that is still surviving. You're supposed to be moving into positive numbers. And you cannot do it unless you have a healthy regimen, unless you have somebody's ear that you can talk to, unless you have a safe place that you can go to. There's so much here that it'll start to make sense and come together in the future of what it is that I'm building. I'm not going to say trying to build, but what it is that I am building. This is about the only time that I have been focused enough on one thing in particular. And whenever I focus, the product comes out to be amazing. It comes out to be a blessing. It comes out to be manna, a blessing for some. So I wanted to share with you that there's still stuff even in your life. So yes, Simone spoke to her therapist that morning, the same morning she won the gold medal. But you know the real person that caused her to win? Drop in the chat if you know. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds. Hey, what's up, Randy? Good to see you again, sir. Drop in the chat. Who's the real person that won? Who's the real person that won? Come on, let me know. Let me know. Put in the chat. Real person that won. I'm gonna wait a few more minutes. Who's the real person that won? Let me know. Let me know. I don't know if y'all will if y'all even get this one. Y'all probably will. The real person that can be attributed to Simone's gold medal victory is Simone Biles. That's it. She is the reason that she won. She finally put herself first. Now, there's some preaching this, and if you're not a preacher, you don't like preaching or whatever, then God bless you. Have a good night. Hit that cash app that's on the bottom of the screen. If tonight's been a blessing, DM me. Let's get together. Let's talk. Give you my schedule. We can do 15 minutes free, and let's see if I can help you, walk with you, understand where you are. You don't want to hear the rest of it? Go right ahead. But let me say this. In 2020, she stepped back. In 2024, she won. Well, I was curious as to what was going on in between 2020 and 2024 that made her come back stronger and win even a more impressive victory. And so I started thinking about it. Well, Simone's only had two relationships in her life. The first one ended just a little bit before COVID. The second one was to her now current husband that started right before COVID started, March of 2020. Simone got married in this small wedding in Cabo San Lucas in April of 2023. Now we're in August of 2024. You know what? There is a lot